So you want to go ahead and just hop into that?
Sure, which actually today's is really simple. We're just going to remind and refresh not just ourselves, but everyone about why we're even doing a podcast in the first place. There's plenty of podcasts out there, but what is the reason for us doing it? Mm-hmm. And what's the purpose of our podcast being called The WayTruthLife? And so although we've talked about this in earlier episodes too, I think it's just good to see about our heart behind this as well, because this is something that we really are passionate about. We love being able to have conversations. We love being able to talk about anything and everything, and especially in a way that honor and glorifies God. Mm-hmm. And so this honestly started out with Jordan and I. We would sit in the car and just talk for hours about just random things. And it was amazing how no matter what we talked about, it always pointed back to God. Like we always were able to see how God was in it and what he would say about that situation. And we believe that whether you're a Christian and you've been a Christian for a while, or maybe you're not really interested in God, but you've heard about him, that we all have misconceptions about God. Mm-hmm. And those misconceptions can cause us to just push ourselves away from God. When the truth is, if we knew who God really was, we would naturally want to draw in and get to know him. And the only reason why we really don't is because there's something that stops us, or there's something we believe about God that just isn't true. And so with our conversations and looking at things that are like in the news, or just things that are important and things that make you a little bit frustrated and upset, we can learn to see, what does God actually say about that? Mm-hmm. You know, is he a harsh, judgmental God? Does he let these bad things happen? Does he not care about his people, or does he actually love people? And if he does claim to love people, how? How is he loving us through this situation? And so that's something I've been passionate about as a teacher. I have the privilege of being able to teach middle schoolers at our church, and being able to help equip them in that way. And I think although we have great conversations, I believe it's something that can apply to everybody. Mm-hmm. I think everyone needs to be able to have that conversation. And so with our podcast, we really just want to generate conversations about God and what you believe in and why does matter.
Right.
And so, but what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, no, same thing. Kind of like what you said. Like, it really started from just our conversations, and basically we're like, hey, why don't we take the conversations that we're having mm-hmm. and share them like outside? You know, I think that, you know, it's important to talk about God and challenge yourself on what you believe about God in your everyday life. You know, I feel like too many times people just talk about God like on Sunday, you know, and that's their only like that's their only knowledge that they get from what, you know, pastor says on the pulpit on Sunday. And so what's awesome is that God works every day,
right?
Not just Sunday, believe it or not. It's a new thing, I know, like outside of the church on Sunday. But really, you know, just like what you was talking about, there's so many different places that you can put God in, and you could see his heart in, or you could see where his heart is not. You know, you can see pastors, and I know we've had many conversations about pastors, about churches, about Christians that say that they're for God, and then you look at who God says he is in his character, and you're like,
right.
Math ain't really math in here, you know? Mm-hmm. And so really just our time just really breaking that down and challenging, you know, what we see around us, you know, and letting God be in it mm-hmm. and pointing back to God in it. Really, it helps to, you know, helps us to feel encouraged and helps us to sharpen each other. And when we mean sharpen, you know, that could be like kind of a churchy word, but it helps us to just be able to, like, you know, make each other better, to continue just to, you know, help each other in our own faith journey. And so really the heart behind this is we want to do that with everybody else in a different kind of way. You know, we want to be able to grow from you guys, and we want, you know, to help you guys grow in your own faith, whether you're been walking God for 40 years, 80 years, I don't know how old you are, you know, or you just, you know, accepted God at the end of this episode, you know, or the end of last season or whatever, you know. We want to just help everybody to grow on this path, you know, and our conversations, I know for me, have definitely done that. And so what better way?
And we love to, just with podcasts, obviously we're not perfect people, we're imperfect. But that's okay.
I think I'm kind of perfect. You know, just,
you better stop.
No, I'm just playing. I'm kind of nice.
Are you done?
Yeah. No, I need help. I'm a hot mess, honestly.